Hello, all greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I wanted to come and say hello. Wish you a wonderful Sunday. I hope you are preparing this week that will be every day can be great. Now we live in an era where all kinds of miracles are becoming possible. So we have to believe, to keep our faith strong, and to stay focused on what is wanted, in order to find the freedom that we aspire to, or the joy, or the abundance. What the highest wisdom for us today is fear. So it's about addressing the fear, understanding the fear. What is the fear telling us? Fear is an appearance, is a fake reality that appears real. It is there is nothing real within the fear. The fear is only here to warn you about something, or to let you know that there is a conditioning for when. So whenever there is a fear, just acknowledge that you don't feel right, that this is not what you want to feel, and then from there transform it into love, and then from there the fear will vanish, and then at which point you will find that wisdom will be about nurturing ourselves with love, to be kind to ourselves, to take care of ourselves. Well, what we need to understand is sorrow, is the ability to feel to heal the wounds of the past. For everything will be healed in time, but there are certain things that need to be released. The only way to heal a wound is to feel it. It's just the way things are, and from there, but not to hang on to it, to just to let go as soon as possible. But if you continue to feeling, that means feeling. Such thing as sorrow, you want to allow it to feel it, but to let it flow through you, let it pass. Do not put your emotion into negative thoughts or anything. That if you put your emotions, that means you associate your own emotion to the thought, then you identify with it, and it becomes part of your energy, and you will grow. But if you have a negative thoughts, and you realize it is just something that is passing through your mind, passing through your head, your thoughts are just passing through, then you do not attach emotions, then it will pass. At which point you will find that the understanding of balance, harmony, is the ability to have a balance. A balanced energy, for the energy of the coming energy of light that is coming for humanity, and it's an era of love, peace, wisdom, concord, harmony, and it will be like people who will love each other. They'll understand the value, how precious life is, and how much it needs to be celebrated each and every day. What we need to do, there is still a narrowness, so we need to be able to walk through that very, very narrow road. But this road is leading us to where we need to go. So the more we stick to that narrow road, it may not be it may be difficult because it's so narrow. But to accept the limitation, but not to create anymore, and to follow that all the way till the end of the program, not to just. Well, I'm going to go to a more comfortable, or sometimes uncomfort is necessary to get to the next place. Although it has to be done in consciousness, you have to be lucid in a relationship to what life is telling you, what you feel you have to do, what you not have to do. There's nothing you have to do, but what makes sense in coherence within your life. And then the outcome is a magical card. It's the reward. So it is. There is great rewards that are coming. It is wealth. It is abundance. It is Jupiter. It is pleasure. It is also the understanding that the inner wealth is the most precious of all wealth, for that is the only thing that no one can take away from you. Anything else can be taken away, but your inner wealth cannot be. So no, you are already wealth, you're already rich inside, because God is within you, and you have your own divine soul, and you're connected to divine spirit guides, and you have this magical history that we have forgotten, this incredible history, this incredible journey we have taken to be where we are now. And so, but all of this will be revealed as we complete the cycle of return. I'm going to pull a card from the Akash. It is figure of authority. So it is about being an authority on yourself. There is no one that knows you better than you. Of course, God and maybe your guides have some insights that we don't have, but we are the expert on us. Don't let anybody tell you who you are, for you are who you are, and from there you have to develop this sense of authority that will allow you to conduct the flow of your life with after that, if you are given more authority, then you want to call on for wisdom and guidance, so that your judgment have positive impact on the situation you are exercing the authority of. For within the law of God is the highest authority. This is the law. The law, for the law is eternal, but it is everywhere present as well. It is something we'll come to understand and discover in time. This law of one. Behind me is a painting. It's a decree, an invocation. It's very long. It's in English. I start all my decrees with I am. I am something positive after that. Just say I am is just being. It is God, the eternal. But I am that. That means it's the God of action. It is something that is happening. When you say I am that, you qualify yourself and you empower whatever you put after the I am. So never say I am sad, I am here, I am tired. This is something that we mentally produce, but we want to try to breathe and to realize of what we are anchoring into the universe. For words are anchoring energies, and the more intent we put into them, the more emotion, the more powerful the anchoring. So we learn to calibrate, to let go of all negative thoughts, not to attach ourselves, and to empower with emotion and love the thoughts that feel good, that feel right. So this is a very deep painting, and it says all those things that I aspire to become. For I am all those things, but I aspire to that my consciousness will reach all those things, and all those things that I love. That's my preference. For Venus is retrograde, so we have to look into what our preferences are. Venus rules love, money, all our preferences as well, and so it is a time to readjust our preferences, to know what and to know ourselves. If there's certain things we like, we have the ego sometimes has to make a little compromise, but we are moving step by step towards something better. I spoke of the train of ascension. And so I wanted to say that this is a train that is big enough to encompass all of humanity. Everybody's got a place. It is a first class, but we have to learn to be seated within our own seat of empowerment, within our I am presence, within our inner self, so that we, rather than being agitated within ourselves, we are seated within a power seat. And this is really once we'll reach that, there will be no more questioning. We'll be within that flow, that train energy. I spoke about wisdom. Wisdom is something mysterious. Philosophy, meaning in love with wisdom. It was Pythagoras that invented the world in 6th century BC. But today I wanted to speak of the wisdom of Socrates. Socrates was a very important philosopher that is known because of Plato. Plato teaches Socratic thought when Socrates will just trip you up in whatever you believe. It is a different process. Those are friends. Sometimes I counsel with them. And so his wisdom was that the only thing that he knew for sure is that he did not know anything. And this is a wonderful position. It is also where Spinoza is because whenever we know something, it is a belief. But if we have a belief, we are prevented from experiencing higher truths. And so by not knowing, you are in the flow, you are by having no point of view. It is a privileged perspective. Socrates used to go into those trance for days. He was very Buddhist in that sense. I also wanted to say that there is goodwill around the world that is forming in all government or all corporations. So there was a great deal of awakening that is happening. So the change may come very fast as more people awaken. That will accelerate the change. And Mother Earth is ascending as well, for she's a real person as well as the sun and the stars. And so also wanted to say the coming age will be an era of peace, of respect, of harmony, of concord, of joy, of full creativity. But essentially we'll have to understand that all religion comes from God. It is a tool that God has given man, but eventually once we discover that God is one and this one is love, we no longer need all those ideas. So all the religion will have to return to the one. Those who cannot do that, or philosophical belief, will have to deviate from the path of ascension. But essentially, all religion come from the one and have to return ultimately to the one. There is no other point of, there is no other source, and there is no other ultimate destiny. There is nothing outside of God. We cannot exist. We could not exist outside of God. So that means we are within God. and God is within us, and God is as well. So there is those three aspects of divinity that we need to integrate. First, God is, that's why we love him. Then we love him because he's within us, and finally we love him because we exist within him or her. Well, those are teaching from the Urantia book. It's a very big book of cosmology and divinity. There's a lot of wisdom. It's very hard to integrate. That's why the academy and the intellectual do not even bring it up. It's too big for this. It's like they wouldn't even want to approach it. But I do hope that some of the information in this book will go into the mainstream as time goes on. I also wanted to say that all temporal mysteries that we are looking for is already known by the spirit world, by a higher self. My soul knows all my past, present, future, of all my incarnation, of my eternal origin, or my eternal destiny. All of this is already known. For the higher spirits, know all about time and space and the universe and paradise and everything. They all know everything. But there are other mysteries that are, because God does not reveal beyond this era. We lived in the era of time and space. The first era was the era of paradise and the central universe, then the time and space was created. But there are 4 levels of transcendental universes that will not be inaugurated until the totality of time and space has been fully completed and resolved, at which point there will be a monumental transformation in the universe that is foresaw. We can only assume, for the gods only share so much. So I also wanted to say that if we're seeking wisdom, there is a school of sorts, a school of beings. They are called the Melchizedek school of higher learning, is mystery schools, and so they are the first order of sonship. When the universe is created, they are the super teachers of the universe. They teach the angels. They make tests on all celestial life to establish what's the best level of service. And they are Melchizedek receivers that are on the planet, and we can always turn to them no matter what our problem may be, our question may be, our level of consciousness. They are perfect. They are universal logos, so they will reflect to us the perfect wisdom. And so because wisdom, eventually we want to discover that personal wisdom, but eventually we'll develop administrative wisdom, which is the ability to handle the collective energies. So administrative wisdom is really what we seek when we're looking for somebody a leader. So we want to find, eventually, will be the Most High, the fathers of the constellation, that will rule our world, because they are the highest celestial wisdom, administrative wisdom, and so eventually we'll be able to receive their wisdom in terms of administration of our world. When our world will be elevated into light and life, the administration will be relegated to the fathers of the constellations, which will be, but that's kind of far away in the future. For now, we have to self-determine into a peaceful and peaceful society, a global society, a fraternal society, a free society. And so Plato believed that philosophy, the outcome of philosophy was politic, and Pythagoras as well, because they saw that politic was the most difficult of all art, but the philosophers were the most qualified to rule. So in many sense, there's going to be more involvement from all the intelligentsias of the countries, that they will, in the future we may not be ruled by politicians, but by intellectuals that have historians, scientists that have this administrative wisdom within themselves, and will be able to share and communicate also the necessity for change. For everything has to go through the consciousness of the people that live within those territories. In the Quran, it is said Allah can only do so much, and until men change. Once men will change, God will be more present with them. And so it is for us to change, to allow this divinity to unfold from within us, to trust and to continue to enjoy our life. For life was created mainly for enjoyment, for expansion. So let us focus on that, let go of the past, and focus on this joy and creative potential that is before us. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thought I wasn't going to sing a song, but then there was this song that went through my mind, and since the sky is gray today, I thought I'll sing it. It goes like this. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk, on a winter's day, I'll be safe and warm, if I was in LA, if I was in LA. California dream, California dream, on such a winter's day. I stepped into a church, I passed along the way. Oh, I got down on my knees, got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray, I pretend to pray. You know the preacher likes the cold, preacher likes the cold. He knows I'm gonna stay, knows I'm gonna stay. California dream, California dream, on such a winter's day. Well, I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful Sunday and a good week that is coming. That I do feel that there is all kinds of potential that will be coming alive this week. So let us be ready for it. Thank you very much. Namaste.